Hot potato. I'll see you guys later for some hot streaks in big board.
And I'm going to pass it off to Coach Jay, who is still short, cooking into the 20,250s. Jay, this trade is working out quite nicely for you. Just trailing that stop down, locking in more and more profits to the downside. Hit those 300s, Jay. How much more room to the downside do we have?
So we just there was 150 bid at 250. So we just sold to those.
Order filled.
Now is where we kind of start thinking about the gap from the weekly open, right? We talked earlier in the week on Monday about the gap that we started the week with, and if that needs to get filled. I think we said it on Monday. If the Nasdaq starts trading below 20,200, that's when I'll start thinking about this gap down here at 20,045, right? So we're approaching those prices right now, and if we start to see some real momentum below 200, that's where my next target goes. Do we get there today? That's kind of tough to say. I don't know how far down we are. So the Nasdaq's down 1.2% right now. 2% on the Nasdaq puts us at 20,081, which is very close to that gap. So that's what I'm looking at this point.
All right, keep that in mind. 20,081. 20,081. This is the Sunday reopen gap, correct, Jay?
Correct. Just messed up my charts.
We got. Where do you short from? You started short from 403s. Where you started, Jay? 415s. Where you started?
415s was the first one, yeah. And my average right now is at 334.
Order filled.
100-point banger. Still selling off here in the S&Ps. Take a look until nothing's showing. There are new lows putting in the S&Ps, new lows putting in the NASDAQ. Dow still staying strong. Hey, crude uptick to $70.01. Last trade $69.95. Orderly sell-off. I think Coop said that in the chat. Yes. It is orderly sell-off. Just when you think we're going to be range-bound. Between 400s, 500s, boom, we're 150 points lower. 180 points lower. Bottomed out at 20,227. Jack House is flat, correct?
Over. No, we'll probably get stopped out too for a small. It kind of blew through that level. Not dead yet. That's risking about $250.
Order filled.
You have micros.
Yeah.
I thought I saw some cash car headlines.
Long 4 micros.
Okay.
It did do a little bit of consolidation there, but then I've been terrible of judging when it's going to bounce versus when it's going to blow through it. But one of these days I'm going to be right.
Thin on the ladder right now. NQ.
Could still work.
Got thinned up as well. Eddie, you see anything from Kashkari? I saw some headlines. Anything?
Yeah, a couple of headlines here. Checking the chat here. We need to chat. Kashkari, we made a lot of progress bringing inflation down. There's still more work to do. Job markets have stayed strong. The biggest challenge is to finish the job. And also policy uncertainty is complicating the Fed job. That's what I've got. 3 comments here, and I'll keep an eye open here. Back to you, Andre.
No hot biscuits, right, Eddie? Just some standard lukewarm.
No, cold Pop-Tarts. Yeah, we got
cold Pop-Tarts. That's right. Room temp.
Lukewarm takes.
Yeah, the best kind of takes. Don't get the clicks, do they, Jack? To be scolding hot.
Order filled.
Yeah.
You need Stephen A. Smith style.
No one does it better.
Flaming lava hot takes.
No one does it better, man. As well.
Oh, I don't like that.
Order filled.
Reverse here. Is this profit short covering? Jay, real quick. How has the delta changed? What you're seeing here? Are they lifting offers now? Or are they still trying to hit bids?
Still hitting bids. Still hitting bids. I'm on 3-minute candles because that's what I normally look at. The last 2 3-minute candles, negative 885, negative 700. The high of that, the first one, that was the 918 central 3-minute candle. The high of that candle is 310. That's kind of expensive for
Order
where I'm
filled.
at right now. I don't want to give back that much profit. So my stop right now is at 50% of that candle, which is at 282. If we hold below 50% of this candle, I'm adding another contract to this position for another push lower.
Another question on it. I know we're harping on this delta. Is there a way to tell if it's short covering or new longs coming in based on that very short term delta?
No, and that's the thing, right? You don't.
Yeah.
I think you can make assumptions based on the price action, right? But yeah, you can't really tell for sure what's going on there.
All right here is coming.
We got 140 offered at 279.
You have it right there.
Yes, we do.
29.
Above that, really. Okay.
29.
Stuff, Jay. ES ladder. Back above 5,800s.
If we close it back above that 58.10, let's get that 200-day moving average.
Yeah, it's.
What's that price check?
Not sure what the selling was about. Didn't feel like there was much conviction.
58.10 in the ES is equal to about the 200-day moving average in the SPX.
Gotcha.
Oh no. Oh no. We got coming up here. Okay. Bottom of the hour coming in about 2 minutes. Hour into the New York Open. Seeing some selling. S&P sold off about 200. I call it 200 points. I'm sorry, the NASDAQ sold off about 200 points since the opening bell for the New York session. S&Ps sold off about 35 points since the opening bell.
All right, I added a second contract there. So my average is at 305. Still going to be out at 290s, but added the second one that 50% kind of held to the tick there.
So, Jay, you've always had a one lot on, but you've been toggling, scaling in, scaling out an additional one lot. So going from short two to short one, short two to short one.
Right.
Essentially trading, or is that trading around the position? How would you characterize that?
It's one trade. I look at this as one trade, just multiple executions of the same trade, right? Where the overall plan was to get short. Now, there's a couple of ways you could do it. I could have just shorted, 5 minis at the highs and walked away, or I'm securing profits because I have a general idea for where I think the market's going to go, but I don't get to choose if it gets there or not, right? So if the market's willing to present profits, I'm going to take some of those off the table. I'm still in one trade. If we look at the trade report, it's going to show multiple executions. But to me, this is one trade idea, multiple executions of that idea. So yeah, I guess you could call it trading around a position for sure.
Very high level trading.
Order filled.
You see the ES at this 5,800, Jack, and that's kind of why I'm definitely securing profits on this short, because if the ES can't sell below that 5,800, I think that brings the NASDAQ back up with us.
Hold on. Let's let him. Jack's hawking this trade right now. All right, new 5-minute candle, bottom of the hour just came in. Let's see what they want to do.
We got crude number just hit the wire here.
Oh yeah,
and coming in at negative 1.446. They were looking at negative 1.5 a gasoline, and the crude coming in at negative 3.341 with the previous 1.745. They were looking at around 2 million. So we do have that negative 3,341,000. Back to you, Andre.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. It's not bad for them. They got somewhat close.
Hey, Dre, sorry about the mute. I'm going to blame it on the babies. Blame it on the babies.
Yeah,
they're loud roommates.
What were you saying over there?
I was saying that I agree with Jay. Jay's awesome.
With Jay. Forward Jack. Oh, 3-word Tony.
Exactly.
4-word Jack, 3-word Tony.
Stay in school, kids.
Stay in school, kids. Oh, epic, man. Oh, Yeah, Tony. His YouTube channel. Let's take a look at Tony's YouTube channel real quick. Let's see how many subscribers he's up to. What was it? Oh my guy.
I think 165. We're getting him the plaque.
NQ.
Get Tony a plaque.
Tony S. YouTube. Tony, are you watching? There's no way he's watching us.
Doesn't watch TV.
He
His
does
TV.
it. Here we go. Let's see how many. Oh, 365 subscribers. My guy. Go follow his
Explosive
YouTube.
growth.
Absolutely. I'll put it here in the chat. Tony, if you're watching, give us a shout out. Say hi, Tony. There's his YouTube channel. Where are you,
We
Tony?
should do a ranking sometime, Andre, of the guest we have in this show that we guarantee are not watching.
There he is. There he is. No, he's watching. He's watching. There he is. Tony S.
He's
Oh,
watching?
0 Day J. 0 Day J.
I was gonna say
no
0 Day J is not there.
chance. Uh-uh.
He's definitely
There
not
it is,
watching.
Tony-
I'm flat
Tony
on that
S.
trade.
All right, cool. Update that P&L. Jay, when you have a chance.
Plus 477.
Nice job. Beautiful. Micros, man. Micros. Go $500 in micros. Tony S. There he is. I'm always here. Hell yeah, you are, man. Click like, follow, and subscribe on NQ Tony S YouTube channel, man. Let's get that off the ground. Oh, hey, all right, Tony S, if you're in there, any levels you're looking at? I'll put you to work here. Any demand zones down here? How are you trading, Tony? Jerome, any levels you're looking at, perhaps in either ES or NQ? Trading 20,000 to 90 in the NQ?
Other than
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
50
the VWAP.
Just drew a sort of Fibonacci of the last movement. So 0.5 and 0.618 is between 361.5 and 380 quarters. And so we have this zone between 328, let's say, and 309. So I'll be carefully watching what price does here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sort of test within the first zone, 309, 328. If buyers want to keep push this market and we break the second zone, I'm going to wait for a pullback and then a long. But if we don't pass the first zone, let's say we don't close above, I'm going to look for a short breaking back down, for example. So these are two dynamic zones I'm watching, and if we break down without going there, then well, it's cool as well. Already got a winning trade, so that's the plan so far.
Right. Market state has changed. That's violent. Oh, what's the VIX? What's the VIX? We were talking about the VIX the other day. It was beneath. It was 17 last time I checked it.
17.6
Okay.
for the VIX.
Where do we like the VIX, Jack? Up in above in the 30s? That's when it gets fun, quote unquote.
It can get fun before then, but we had the biggest sell-off in history in the S&P 500 without the VIX going above 30, which indicates there wasn't much panic. As I mentioned, we got above 60 in the VIX in August during our brief apocalypse via Japan.
That's right. Everyone's flat.
My apologies, I was speaking with the wrong chart on, so sorry about that.
Don't worry about that guy.
He calls you out there. I love it.
Thank you.
Like the 70s
Out,
may
well,
be done.
kind of flattening out here in the NQ and the ES.
If
Market state has changed, and that's
it stops
why it's very important to have a
hitting
trading
that
buddy, right?
70s,
You
man,
got trouble,
keeps hitting
hold you
that
accountable,
70s,
even entertain goof a little bit.
bad news for
You just
me.
don't get the itch to
Order filled.
click the button
Wow.
just to feel something, just to get in the markets. So make sure you have a trading buddy. Make sure you're
Just
checking in,
to feel
hanging out.
something.
Yep, hanging out with us on. Yeah, been there. Hanging out with you on Top Step TV. Tony S. in the chat. I'll be waiting for you at George. Reversal Challenge champ, Tony S. What do you put up, like 22 Gs, 24 Gs? Great stuff, Tony. Go follow him on the YouTube. What are we up to really quick? I'll get that. Yeah, 400 subscribers, Tony. There you go. Growing, baby.
So I see some traders in the chat talking about, they were looking for a reversal because one of the trades that we talk about a lot in during at the buzzer is that kind of exhaustion move at the lows where we get high volume and makes the low for the day. We close above it and then trade to the upside. If you look at this 9:21 Central Time 3-minute candle, we closed above that, and that is the opportunity to take a long there, risk below the low. That trade would be buying above 260s, risk below 225. The reason I didn't take that short is because of the candle right before that one, which is higher volume than that. If we get a close above 310s in the NASDAQ on a 3-minute chart, then I would be looking to buy.
310.
Yeah, so you could have taken this one for sure. You'd be up, 30 points right now. But the reason I didn't take this one, partly I was getting out of a short, right? But then looking at this 3-minute candle, the range 310s to 260s. If we don't close above 310s, I would short it again. So just being patient.
Like that. I'm on tilt right now. White House press briefing, 12 p.m. Central. Let's see if that wants to do anything. Also, what do we have? We have a 5-year auction, 12 p.m. Central as well. Try to creep this thing higher here. Drifting higher. Hey, Hoop, beginning of the week. I felt like we were in a zombie rally Monday and Tuesday. Kind of just felt like we are going to be up and to the right drifting. Not the case just yet, Hoop. Just kind of a little orderly sell-off. Everything's day in, day out. Things keep changing. 5808 in the S&Ps. House is long from right about here.
Right here.
Yep. PC tomorrow. Yep. PC tomorrow, Vince? Yes, PC. That is the economic data that the Fed does pay close attention to for inflation. Core PC, I should say. Friday. Thank you. Gold tight range. $16 range in gold. Oil.
Warm biscuit
70
here
cents.
from Cash Carry.
Really?
In the next year or two, we ought to be able to
Sounded
reduce
nice.
interest rates further. It's coming off the wire. Warm biscuit, not a hot one, but just want to share that. Thank you, Andre.
Thank you. We ought to be able to reduce interest rates further. It seems consistent with the messaging. Goolsby said something similar. Paul didn't come out and outright say that. Oh, gold's in rollover. Thank you, Hoop. Gold $16 range. Like I said, crude 80-cent range. NASDAQ for the day, 270-point range. S&P's 35-point range. Ranges have gotten tighter.
Andre, I do have one story today. I think this might be part of a series called New Hustle Bro dropped.
This again?
You ready for this?
Yeah, this guy.
What
was the last one?
Comes from the Hustle Bro capital of the Northern Hemisphere, Miami, where scalpers were caught selling free DMV appointments for $250 a pop.
I'd pay for that.
That's right. That's passive income. They had bots go into the DMV, snatch up all those appointments, and then sold them on the secondary market.
You know what?
Something astounding that you wouldn't think you'd get caught doing that, but if you're gonna be a hustle bro, you got to take the risk. So, congratulations to my hustle bro of the day, the DMV scalper.
I'd pay for
Jack,
that.
have you heard about the
Pretty
new?
smart.
Have you heard about the new Illinois law that seeks to stop this from happening with restaurants in Chicago? Scalpers are buying reservations at high-end Chicago restaurants and then selling them for twice their value online, and we're about to stop that.
First, they came for the hustle bros, and I said nothing. This is un-American. We gotta let the bros hustle.
There are people that stand in line for events.
Yeah,
Order filled.
And I guess that's legal. You can stand in line and sell your spot. Heard of that before.
People will
I saw.
literally scam anything.
Oh,
Where do
they
you
will.
even
I saw a
sell
video.
DMV appointments?
This guy nearly was about to get beat up because he was essentially scalping orders at the McDonald's kiosk, like the computer thing. Like he was just taking the front of the line, just entering in orders for all the people that were giving them to him.
What was he? Was there a premium on that? Like what was his cut? That's incredible.
Whatever his cut is, like that's the guy you want to hire.
What a
I mean,
baller.
I
Yeah.
could not stand with a bunch of angry people behind me while I
Just hold up the kiosk.
carved
Don't budge.
Frosties or whatever they got there.
Hey, big muffins. Yeah. Still not worse than Pokemon card scope. Hey, shout out to the Hudson.
Order filled.
Ashkari, got some more coming in. Are these hot biscuits, Eddie?
Warm toast. It's conceivable that to hit the confidence could be bigger effect than the tariffs themselves. It's conceivable that the hit to the confidence could be bigger effect than the tariffs themselves. Also saying the good news, he's got good news for us here. Good news is that if there are resolutions of trade uncertainty, confidence can be restored. Confidence is
that, Jack?
Yeah, confidence.
You hear that?
You know what
you know where I'm going with that?
Confidence?
You know where I'm going with that?
Yeah. I know where you're going with that.
Jack said consumer confidence is always wrong. The other day, always wrong. Famously wrong.
Famously wrong.
Wouldn't doubt it.
That being said, I think corporate confidence, I think what would be great for that right now is just knowing what's going to happen. I think that's what everyone's kind of looking for.
Consumer confidence, famously wrong.
Steve Jobs would agree with me. Consumers don't know what they want.
You gotta tell them what they want?
You gotta tell them what they want.
Water fasting result says trading day may be over for me. Good. Keep hanging out here with us.
Long is tempting. Long is tempting.
Okay. Why do you say that, Jerome?
Because we're not pushing down. We're holding. There's a couple news on the headlines, but it's not moving the market that much down. So that tells me, yeah, perhaps I don't have visual on Delta, but feels like buyers are taking back the control. It doesn't mean we're gonna go back up like a nice complete V recovery, but it increases for me the probability of getting back at least to 309, 310, perhaps back up to 380. So it's not A plus yet, and I also already had a winning trade, so I'm not in, like, I don't have the urgeness of putting on another trade. I don't need to trade anyway, right? We don't need to trade. No trading is also trading, keep in mind. But I'm already profitable. So if it's not A plus, I'm not getting in. But for people who are thinking about
order filled,
guys, but that could be a nice direction. Yet we have a Kashkari speaking and perhaps President Trump putting on some tweets. So be careful. Yes, Coach Jay?
No, I kind of agree with you on these longs. I'm looking at that kind of 260 to 270 zone. If the sellers kind of fail right here, the low of the day so far, that candle that made the low, if we anchored a VWAP to that, it's sitting at 271. So, potentially buying it here. But I do agree with you. And then for a pop back up to that 309, like you said, that high, that 3-minute candle I was talking about was 310s. That would be the conservative price target. You manage your position there. And then if buyers buy it above that, then yeah, back up to 350s. Let's see what happens at this 260 here. I do agree with the longs though.
Has there ever been a day where you haven't put a trade on? You just sat at the screen for hours?
It hasn't happened in a little while. There definitely has been. But usually I don't watch the charts, right? Usually I'll just go do something else.
Fair enough. Smart.
Yeah, just go outside, go do something else. But there's definitely days where you just sit here, look. It's usually when I miss a trade, and I'm like, damn it.
Yep.
Let's see, we got some selling coming in here.
Yeah, we do. S&P is going to test these 5,800s. At least try to 5,802. Just about 4-point sell off there. Nasdaq looking maybe to roll over, maybe a little more orderly selling. Coach Hoop, 20,259. About 25 points to go to tap the lows. 500 lots sold. 805. Okay.
Selling has to look juicy, right? It has to look temptative. It has to look like, oh, it's getting down. So the market has to make moves in order to make people get back in selling, so we can have more liquidity to go back up. So I'm not saying we're going back up, but I'm saying these kind of moves can be part of, I call it to myself, the fueling of the next move. It can be part of the fueling of the next move. If it's going down, then yeah, my thought on my analysis was wrong, and guess what? I identified that it's not an A+ setup, so I don't get in. If you were short and it's getting down, well, congratulations to you.
Yes.
But that's how you manage your data and you backtest. I mean, if you think it's going down and then you see a 25 points flush and you're like, oh, I told you it's going down, and then it's almost instantly back up, how do you feel? Then it's not that down, right? So
told you.
Just about how you manage your emotions within a trade. Whether you are right or wrong, whether a short here is obvious or not, guess what? What did you win being right or wrong? If you were in a trade, you won money. If you are not, is it feeding your ego? What I told you feeds you with. And I mean, I'm not being the guy who says, "Oh, you are a hater. What's your point?" No, I mean, on a human level. I mean, on a growth, a dimensional perspective. Tell us why you told us you want to sell this market. Come on TV or make a post about it. Tell us why it was obvious for you.
Order filled.
Yeah, that's trading.
I like that accent. You're a hater. I like that drum.
I put on a 1 lot long. We talked about it. We bounced off those 260s. Not risking a whole lot on this, risking 20 points from 268.
Micro?
Yep, just a 1 lot micro, just to kind of see if this level holds. Again, my target on this is going to be 310.
So is this a counter trend trade here, Jay?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no real buying stepping in this market right now, so I'm kind of asking for something that has not happened yet. But from this is more of a just I like this level. This is where we kind of turned around. This is where sellers stopped the last time. So if they don't continue to sell it, then they become buyers as well. Which is why I'm not risking a whole lot on this, because if they want to continue to sell this, then we're talking about 20,200. But we talked about the 260s. It bounced there, so I took the trade.
This really wasn't no substance. Matt Hugh. Two, because I think big players ran it up Sunday
Order
to sell their
filled.
position to a pump and Trump's fluff. Hey, perhaps. Yeah, we had John London out there calling this a bull trap yesterday on Power Hour. They are lower, so perhaps. We'll see how this trade plays out for Jay. Nothing on the tilt, Jay. It might be smooth sailing here. House count's been long the ES, micro ES. Taking too much heat. 5804 last trade in the ES. Pug Traveler, save that question. Well, hell, ask you, Jay. Would you consider us forcing a little bit?
No, this is a playbook setup. Nope, not forcing it at all. Not risking a whole lot, but it's a playbook setup for sure.
In parentheses, I asked because I do preemptive trades a lot and usually get crushed.
Preempting it would have been
Yep.
buying it at 280s, right? Where we needed that, to me, we needed that pullback to the high of this candle that made the low, right? We can see where we bounced, right? That 3-minute candle that made the low to the tick, we traded to the high of that. That's a satisfied pullback where I let the market pull back 25 points before I got in. And now I'm in a better position and don't have to stress the trade. Because now at this point, right, I said with the buying, right, I'm asking the market to do something that it hasn't done in order to sell below this low. Now at this point, I could risk, 256, because that's where sellers showed me that's the last place they were willing to sell on this move. And now I just managed the trade from there.
I feel so bad this market is going down. It was so obvious. I'm in pain. Who am I?
Mr. Hindsight.
Yes.
Showing a little bit of life here.
Okay, yeah.
We wired the stream 7 minutes ago, and you will see what is trading.
Order filled.
Jerome, nice call on those longs.
Nice execution,
just
brother.
Putting it out there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just putting the thought out there, right? Where it made a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we talked about
6 MES 5807.
Nice check.
Wonderful. We spoke through the temptation of the short and the fueling for the next move, right? I mean, of course, it's easier for me to say it right now, but I said exactly the same thing 8 minutes ago. That's the difference between someone saying it's obvious it's going down and somebody telling you it's probably going down, but if it's not going that down until this level, trust me, there is a great chance, doesn't mean 100%, there's a great chance we go back up and reverse in this case. And guess what happens?
Like this.
Oh, it's pumping 50 points. And just like this, we're getting back to the 309s, 312, the zone. Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful indeed.
So this is that level now that we need to see those buyers coming in, right? We saw a big seller here earlier at these 310s, 310 down to 300. And to the tick, we rejected at those 310s. So if we close above here,
guys, man,
if we close above 310 and we get a pullback to maybe 290, I'll add a second contract to this.
Man, absolute masterclass. Yeah, absolute clinic. BW says in the chat, absolute clinic from Jerome and Jay today. Agree.
If you cut that long, put some W's, and if you were the ones calling the move down, put some W's as well. Because you might have got some profits,
Just throw some W's in the chat. Just throw some W's in the chat.
Throw them dubs.
Yeah, throw them dubs up. Where them dubs at? Beautiful stuff. Oh man. We can keep pushing higher. Overnight VWAP in the NASDAQ, 20,383. Overnight VWAP in the ES, 5816. S&P is about 8 points from that. NASDAQ still has some room to go. About 80 points from that.
Andre, seeing all these W's, I'm thinking that the Cubs won today.
They're 0-2 right now, Eddie. 0-2 to start the season.
Well, that's what we got here in Chicago. We got that W flag. When they win, they put just the W. They
do.
fly the W flag.
Sing the damn song, as they say.
Oh.
So we're looking for
Cubs go.
Yes.
That song is like a perfect encapsulation of Cubs fans.
You're not wrong. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's such a bad song.
Now, my favorite part was like, now stomp your feet and clap your hands.
It's just such a Midwest, just a jingle.
So lame.
Cornball.
Yeah, very corny. What's Gold doing? Yeah, what's up, Danielle? Silence the haters. Danielle says, Danielle feeling spicy today. What's up, Danielle? I will say hi to Danielle in the chats. Oh, the White Sox. Oh, great. Here she goes. Never mind. Don't say hi to Danielle. Now she's repping the South Side, the White Sox. Boo, boo, boo. Danielle was going so well until you said the White Sox.
Yeah, I think this isn't this the White Sox theme song?
You have one? Oh, thank you, Danielle.
Order filled.
Never mind. Danielle
That's the
says go
one-
Cubs go.
That's
Thank
the
you,
White
Danielle.
Sox.
Confused there for a second. Coming up to the top of the hour here. Fast markets, not really. Slow markets, not really. It's kind of markets just
So now what's happening?
a rudderless
is
ship.
we're having the first rejection from the zone, right? So that tells me first the zone is working. That's what I call a confirmation point from my analysis, because you never know if your analysis is right or wrong, right? You kind of have to believe to yourself and to your levels, and sometimes you realize that you have a gap, a sort of bias between what you thought, what you drew, and what happens. Nothing is perfect. So far, the area Coach Jay and I had 310s has rejected. We expected this rejection because you have two actors getting in here. I mean, acting. You have the people who are long and getting out of positions, and also the people who are selling here because they know most probably we're going to have a move down. Now, again, like the previous move, um, what's the selling? What's the power of the selling? If we hold 280s, 287s, or if we bounce back from 260s, we can be pretty confident we have buyers back in, and we most probably will be able to break above this zone. But let's say if we bounce from here and we retest this zone, I wouldn't be surprised at all to break above 330, have a slight pullback perhaps, but very fast going back to 350, 380. So again, I'm not saying we're continuing back up. It could take a couple like half an hour, perhaps an hour. But as long as we get out of this zone, as long as we know, like, do we trade above or below this zone? Do we close above, below? Did we have a pullback? Then we'll have a very strong directional move, in my opinion, towards the closure. So if it's to the upside, we'll at least have another 60, 100 points back up, and same to the downside.
Okay.
I added a second one there, so my average is at 279. I'm out at 270.
Order filled.
And the target on this is 342.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Beautiful leisurely trades today. Although the
Jack, you
spikes
said
could
you're
come
long
at any
6.
I'm long 5 now. I
5.
took one off on the pop.
Nice.
We're hanging out right around the 5750 SPX level right now.
So the reason my stop is so tight on this is because remember what we were talking about before on the people who were asking about the longs from the low. I said my potential short target or short entry would be 310s, where we rejected at the high of that candle. We kind of rejected right there, right? If we closed above it, I was more inclined to take these longs, but we closed right at the high of it. So at this point, I still think there's a potential for whoever this seller was that caused this price action to come in and push this market lower. So tight stop on this until we get above 310s, and then I would move the profit target out of the way and then just trail from the other side.
Look at this. Smooth sailing. I love it. All right, coming into the top of the hour here. Oh man, we've been announcing it all week. The new dashboard, the new TRN, the new dashboard. Then we're bringing in there she is, coach of the Chameleonaires. We're bringing her in as well. Eddie, come on in. We got everyone's favorite Chameleonaire head coach, D, coming to join us. Eddie, take it away with the announcements. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Eddie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What we're going to be doing is we're letting the genie out of the bottle. We are cracking Pandora's box. We're swinging the barn doors open we are opening the floodgates and letting even more traders in the newly redesigned Top Step dashboard. So that's right. Another group of traders are getting early access to the latest and greatest evolution of Top Step. So bank your resets. You can do that for free to use. Also, real-time stats on the dashboard. There is also instant express funded account activation. There is also instant payout deductions, and we've got a lot more coming up on that dashboard. Yes, yes, yes. And you've heard these invitations come with a 25% discount on any size trading combine, and it's good for up to 5 accounts. So if you'd like to, you can click on the link we're going to be dropping and pinning into chat to sign up for the wait list if you haven't done already. So this is currently only available for traders in the United States, but soon the new dashboard will be available. For those outside of the States, sign up anyway. We're going to get you on the waiting list, and this all comes together.
Order
You'll be
filled.
on the waiting list. So if you are outside the States, you can sign up too, but you won't get it right away. Okay, so just a little heads up here, giving you the green light on that, so you can get on that wait list. Also, we got that link there. Thank you very much. Put the link in there. Good stuff. Dashboard. We're going to keep that up there for a little bit. Also, did you know that TopStep has one of the largest trading communities in Discord? Yes, it is true. We've got over 127,000 members and counting. It's the best place for you to find new trading buddies, quick support, free education, and so much more. If you're not part of this Discord channel, shame on you. What are you waiting for? It's free to sign up. So go ahead and click the link. I think we're going to put that one in chat also, and for an invite. And remember, if you got friends, other fellow traders, tell them about it. Okay, share that link with them. Let's get that number up, and I guarantee you won't regret it. A lot of good stuff going in there. That's where our coaches hang out. That's where you can find a trading buddy. We got a lot of different rooms. So if you do sign up, if you're new to our Discord channel, check it out. You might find a room that's really going to benefit you for trading, for your product, for whatever you need. And remember, once again, that's where our coaches hang out. So we do a lot of programming. I know at 4:30 Central Time each day, we've got hoops in the Discord channel. Also, we got Coach Vince, and we've got a lot of coaches in there. So keep that in mind. Got the Discord channel. So once again, here we are opening up the floodgates here for our Top Step dashboard. Please, if you'd like to, get on that list if you aren't in the States. But if you are, remember there is an invitation. Come with a 25% discount on any. Let me say that again, on any size trading combine. 25% discount, and it's good for up
de la
to
mañana,
5 accounts.
hora de Nueva
I
York.
think that's what I've got. Anything else here?
Amigos,
Take a look here. But,
si están
I'd like
interesados
to say we got D
en
coming in here right now.
estar
D, are
en
you
la
with us
lista
here?
de espera de
Get you in here with us. There she
TopStepX,
is. We got
vayan
Coach
Hello,
Jay, we
Eddie.
got
a la
Jerome, and D. Good evening, good morning, good
página de
afternoon,
YouTube
Deanna. How are you?
ahora mismo.
I'm very well,
Ya,
Eddie. How
en
are
este
you?
momento,
I
acaban
am
de
fine. Thank you
decir
very much for joining us.
el señor
And
Eddie
any
Horn, que
trades
es
for
el
you
que
today?
hace
Yeah, I did
los
one little platinum
comunicados,
trade. Got
que
about
si
$107
eres
from that.
de afuera de
I'm
Estados
looking
Unidos,
at a
te
potential
puedes
short on
inscribir
copper right now. We'll
empezando
see what that
hoy
plays
y
out.
ahora mismo
We've been talking about that yesterday. It hit its
en
new
la
highs
lista de espera
yesterday,
para el
right?
nuevo
Yeah,
Copper
it
highs.
was. And
que
overnight,
está
it
lleno de
popped,
bonos.
and then since then, it's been a little bit
Entonces,
slow. But
ahí
we're
está la
finally getting
noticia de
that
hoy.
extension
Buena
of the initial
suerte.
bounce below. So we'll see whether there's some traction there back towards the distribution curve from the previous day, which is all the way down at 21.85. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, how long have you been trading copper?
I traded a little bit over the years, but I really started watching it quite intensely last year. So it's been probably about a year now where it's been nearly a permanent fixture in some of my tradable products. It's been moving pretty well, but you have to keep in mind the volatility index of copper itself, which can be found on the CME website. And yeah, as long as that's hanging above 20, then you can get some really, really nice extended moves. Yeah, it's been a good product, good baby.
All right, I'm going to pass this back to Andre. And Andre, just talking about copper, how we hit that high yesterday.
All-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, D. Hello.
Hey, Dre.
How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, just stalking this copper trade. See what happens between 25 and 26.
Did I hear that right? You said you were looking for a short?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm looking for effectively a mean reversion down to the value high because we're opening above. Usually when you open within the vicinity of value, but not too far away, the first thing that they will do is to go and test the value. So that's one of the setups that I look for.
Crude busted out above $70, $70.22 a barrel.
That hurt. That hurts. I've been talking about wanting to buy crude, and I did not buy it.
It's 70% long on the NASDAQ tilt. Let's take a look at
little late.
Copper tilt. Very light.
So looking at this this NASDAQ trade, Jerome, that those 309s, 310s, the market is making a decision about that level. We are making higher lows, right? On this 3-minute chart, we're making higher lows, which is nice. Some of that sell pressure is probably getting a little nervous about what happens at 310s if we get a push above it. Let's see if they do it here.
Yeah, I think in the next 2 minutes, we'll have either a strong break or a strong rejection, or at least a strong
All right,
move.
so I'm short copper from 24.90. Just 2 micros, nothing major.
H.
So we'll see if we can go below 25.
¿Dónde estás? ¿De dónde te viene ese texto, como el de anoche?
Right there.
Como
What's the
este
price
que me
again, D? I'm
estás
sorry.
mostrando, ¿de dónde viene?
524.90.
Tiene
There it is.
un origen.
524.90. Yes.
Entonces,
Thank you.
dependiendo la conversación, es que uno más o menos se da cuenta qué es lo que quiere decir
Seems that we lost
All the
the
Mag
screen,
7
so let me
is
redo that
now
again.
in the red.
Uh-oh.
That's good.
Yeah, Tesla, not Tesla, NVIDIA getting slapped around today.
Incredible.
Down 4.3%. Carvana down 5%.
You stop with the Carvana. What's with you?
GameStop is up 15% because they're buying the Bitcoins.
Can't even say it with a straight face.
It's just so obvious. It was the most obvious move ever.
Let's take a look at some. Do we have any obscure earnings after the bell today?
Reparación.
Yeah, Jeffries, they're obscure. Lululemon tomorrow after the bell. Jimmy to the moon. Those days are over.
Can we push? Still holding these levels.
D, well, how much is it a tick in copper?
In full mini, it's $12.50, and in the micros is $1.25.
Okay. As that creeping higher.
Do you like the copper price action better than gold right now, D?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Gold has been a tricky beast recently.
Yeah.
The candles are just way too big, so I don't really like that, and it gets a little bit spiky. So that gets me a little twitchy, and the more important thing for me is to keep myself calm and centered. So anytime something's doing weird zoomies, I'm like, okay, no. So I like my calm products that don't wag around 180 ticks across a 30-minute time period.
Right.
Well, then
Zoomies.
can be digested nicely. Yeah, that's Coach Hoop's term, actually.
It
Well,
is, I
usually for
guess.
Nasdaq. Yeah.
Nasdaq very orderly right now. What do we got for positions? House account still long.
Order filled.
We're long for MES from 5807.
Okay. Got D short and the micro
And
copper and J.
I'm
Yep.
still long 2 from 279. 2 micros.
Everyone's got a little exposure right now. Okay.
Little taster, Andre.
Hey, just to feel alive. Hey, D question. Change your market state. I know you don't trade equities so much, but just overall in the metals and such, are you seeing a change in market state there as well? Is it calmed down a little bit?
It depends. I mean, gold has days when it's still pretty crazy. Some of the other metals, including gold, are currently in rollover, so that's going to cause additional weirdness. Copper has rolled already. Now, last year we saw an uptick in copper movement. Copper wasn't like this many years ago. It was pretty muted, but there was some chat about hedge funds using it to protect against inflation rather than using gold, which it was traditionally gold, but now they're kind of moving into copper. So obviously we're seeing a lot more movement there. It's very sensitive to tariff talk as well, because Trump is talking about copper tariffs as well. So obviously that made it go up like 600 ticks overnight, which was insane. But generally you can expect about 250 ticks per day. Yeah, it's it's pretty sensible. Once it moves, once it picks a direction, it tends to just keep going. Some days, obviously, you're always going to have a range bound day, but for the most part, it's probably one of the smoother products and more suitable for newer traders, I would say, just because the calmness and the directional nature of the market. Yeah.
The run up to all-time highs, was it yesterday or the other day? This week, new all-time highs. Was it pretty orderly, that run up to all-time highs, or was it essentially just
Yes.
a mad bull run?
The previous day, it was pretty orderly. It was pretty orderly. It took a while to get going. Let me just see where that was. What are we now? So
Always a
25th.
market moving. Always a market moving. That's what I love about this.
Always.
So it was pretty muted yesterday during London, and I was trying to get in on a long, but then I was in this sort of mess here. And then I decided just to move away from it and to look at platinum, and then I got a nice long platinum trade instead. But I mean, if you look at how it went up, it was pretty orderly, This is a 15-minute chart. So once it decided, it just kind of kept climbing and kept climbing. Not much drama, decent pullbacks.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing dramatic. It was just like, yeah, we're going up. Let's go.
Here we go. Yep.
I mean, I would argue last night when Trump talked about tariffs, that was mad. This was right at the open of Globex. Globex opened and it went whoosh.
Look at
Obviously, I was
that.
asleep. And yeah.
Huh.
And then it kind of topped out. So we haven't really done much since. Hit the exhaustion point overnight. And then it's just been range bound. And only now we're seeing that initial balance extension. So which is why I'm short. So let's see if we can get back at least to this 523 area where I have the regular trading hours session low exhaustion point. If we keep going lower, then I have the next area at value high from Comex yesterday at 521.85.
21.85. Okay.
Not much doing in the ES right now.
Yeah, we slowed down a lot.
I'm going to take a peek at
bullish consolidation, but yeah, a single news can obliterate this range because buyers are hesitant so far. But at any moment, once they decide to break out, whatever direction it is, this will move. But so far, we have strong attempts.
Order filled.
To the upside. Yet
Order
we have
filled.
Nice rejection. So still, it's a bullish consolidation for me. until it's not anymore. So if you're still in along, I mean, you're well positioned for me.
D question: you're in London. When does London change their clocks? Because I know London Euroclose is not in 14 minutes. When do you guys change your clocks over there?
Sunday. So we'll be back to normal times for the London session.
Okay.
Over here.
In a month. Thank you. All right. Well, I see James over there. James just chomping at the bit right now. James, you got some news for us? Where's James at? James ready to go.
Yeah, I got news, but I gotta organize my million tabs. Here
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm here on screen now, Andre.
Yes, there he is. Look at that beautiful face.
In front of MP's garage.
In front of MP's garage. That's right. I don't know if anyone knows this tidbit. This is the MP's actual garage. You'll see it in some bumpers sometime. Anyway, always watching MP. Always watching. Let's talk about the news. Did you guys hear about this one? Familiar to a lot of us who grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, but Napster is being sold to a commerce company for $207 million. Napster, if you aren't familiar, started out as a way to pirate music before trying to go straight. Justin Timberlake played the founder in that Facebook movie, and yeah, I feel like we've just come a long way, right? We've come full circle. What they're trying to do is make Napster a place that's kind of like Spotify or Tidal. They want it to be a place where musicians and fans can interact.
James, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but was this at like a Silicon Valley garage sale?
What is
Who was buying Napster for $207 million?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and where's justice for my LimeWire or Kazaa? Like, where are all the things that
I was a LimeWire guy. People have too much money.
All the viruses
we
downloaded.
Mom. I don't know what a Trojan horse is. I don't know why all these ads are popping up. Okay, I was afraid. I clicked the link by accident. But you know what? Wasn't by accident, Andre. And well, our next story, it wasn't by accident. And God,
order filled.
A man has performed surgery on himself after watching YouTube tutorials, which put him in the hospital. Oh, it didn't track to me. Like, who hasn't been there, right? Who hasn't taken a few hips from the bong, slammed a few natty lights,
order
out your pocket knife, and decide you're going to be the one to take care of that hangnail on your toe? We've all been there. We've all done it. You see it every day. But yeah, maybe.
Can I ask what the surgery was?
Like, what countries?
Oh yeah,
7-inch incision.
Don't stop.
Oh God.
The man was from the Uttar Pradesh, and he was trying to take out his appendix. A very simple.
That is why we have simulation, right, ladies and gentlemen? Practice before executing. Practice.
Yeah, and if you
cut open some other people first.
Not a lot of ones. But if you think that like maybe he ripped himself open and then decided he made a mistake, dear viewers, don't worry. He was able to stitch himself together with 11 sutures before he decided that maybe he should go to the hospital. So you weren't paying attention home ec. Maybe it's time to start learning how to sew, ladies and gentlemen. You never know when you might need it.
That was.
I can't believe it was actually on YouTube.
Yeah, that's an all-timer right there, James.
That's on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
I mean, this is like a Darwin award, right? I mean, you try to perform yourself, and then you get septicemia, infection, and then you cut your legs or you die, you know.
Nothing can beat. This is the peak level of defeat. Is walking into the emergency room. When they say what's wrong, you say I put a 7-inch incision into my abdomen to try and do surgery off of YouTube. That has just got to be one of the all-time worst feelings.
You got it from here, Doc? Cool.
Yeah, I'm all good. All right, moving on. Our next story. Research is showing that something very strange is happening to people who use ChatGPT a lot. Anyone guess
Shocking.
what could be happening to people who only rely on ChatGPT for news, recipes, how-tos, and
They send links
interaction?
for ChatGPT answers for everything you ask for. Is that something?
No, Jack, this isn't our Slack. This is
Order filled.
we're talking about falling in love, finding connection with an AI. First, you're asking it, how long do you preheat the oven to make a pot roast? Next, you're asking it, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? All of a sudden, you're asking the AI, how's its day going? It starts to sound a little bit like Scarlett Johansson. You start dating it, and wait a minute, I've seen this movie.
Oh, that's right.
Just thought of her.
James.
So, congratulations, Earth. We are a Spike Jones movie now. You feel good about yourself? You robot-loving freaks.
Order filled.
Talking about freaks.
When that happened, that was a Futurama episode, wasn't it? When
It was a Futurama
Amy and
episode.
Bender were dating.
Yeah,
What were they
yeah.
referring
The whole-
to? Robosexuals? Was that it?
Robosexuals.
If I
Yes,
remember
robosexuals.
correctly.
Amazing.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, dude.
Same hit show that
Sorry.
brought you Robot Jack on to the internet.
Come on.
Here is speaking of on. Here's an update from our boy JD, provided to us in Slack. Looks like I'll be here till close. He's at a Minnesota bar called the Grain Belt, and it's 100% Minnesota. Speaking of JD, for those not at attendance in Vegas, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but within Top Step, we do something we call Top Stepper of the Month. Now, normal people might think it's Employee of the Month, but no, it's Top Stepper of the Month, where we celebrate and highlight people at Top Step internally who are just basically kicking ass at the company. And it's not just Top Step TV, it's every department. Every company meeting, which we have once a month, we'd like to award somebody with the Top Stepper of the Month award. And, well, we have a video to run, and I'll just let the video speak for it.
JD has risen to be a key player and leader on the TV team. To stand out on air, both with deep market knowledge and one-of-a-kind sense of humor. When JD talks, the traders sit up straight. It's true. And beyond everything you see on air, JD is the brains and brawn behind the weekly kickoff email. Every Sunday, our traders are prepared for the week ahead because of his hard work and dedication. JD, we appreciate you so much. You're a true standout. We're very glad to call you colleague and friend, buddy.
All right, James Harden from Top Step TV reporting live from the Las Vegas desert. I'm here with Top Stepper of the Month, JD. JD, how long have you been with Top Step, and what is it that you do here?
I've been with Top Step for 5 years now. I just celebrated my 5th anniversary. Just won Top Step of the Month yesterday for the 3rd time in 5 years, if you could believe that.
I didn't know we had a 3-time recipient in our hands. Wow, I didn't think that was allowed.
Yeah, I didn't know that was allowed either, a 3P. Why do we give him the Top Stepper of the Month again? Because I'm so goddamn good at what I do.
Yes, you are, JD.
Not to give me the
Just
award.
ask him.
Wow.
And there you have it. That was JD, our Top Stepper of the Month, standing next to Body Cam Andre in the desert. If you're wondering what was shot on that body cam footage of Andre,
Order filled.
watching Top Step TV, there's way more to come. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Let's go ahead and get back to the markets. Au revoir.
Thank you, James. Thank you,
Good
James.
timing. We're selling off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we are.
And I'm flat on that trade.
Okay.
Took one off above 305. I just didn't really like that hesitation at 310s, that zone we were talking about, and so took one off, and then the other one was just a little bit of a loss, but yeah, really no momentum up above those 310s.
Second time's the charm, blowing through this level.
Yeah, new lows ES
Yeah.
57.95. Go
Just
ahead,
wanna
D. I see crude.
Point out
Go ahead,
the
D.
RBOB because I don't like crude anymore. But RBOB touched the ADR high at 225 and just went.
Yep. Yep.
So we'll see how far that goes.
We're seeing the selling here in
But
the crude
everything's
as
selling.
well.
Selling
Yes,
off.
it is. Crude selling
Yeah,
off.
everything.
Nasdaq selling off. Yes, selling off.
Copper
Quarterly
selling
though.
off.
Copper selling off. Yes, D is short. 24.90. Last trade 24.05.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Update. Jay, you're flat. Update
Yep,
the P&L
flat.
when you have a chance.
Plus 517.
Well done. Jerome up $500.
Nice.
One trade, one winner. Not looking to force anything, Jerome. I like the patience. I like the discipline.
Small wins compound.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Kind of establishing a range here with this volume slowing down. We'll see whether or not, someone in the chat just asked, do you see new lows here? Well, we just got a volume spike, but if we look at everything that happened in the last hour, volume's been pretty low. So anytime I see a spike of volume like that,
Order
I ask,
filled.
What's the likelihood of sustainability of this volume? Does it continue here or does it just dry up again? If it dries up again, then we go right back to the high of the range. If it continues, then we continue to sell off. So just reading the tape to see whether or not sellers continue to come in here. Remember, 260s was where I was buying before. And although we saw a spike in volume there, they did not trade below those 260s. So it looks like dramatic price action, but they really haven't brought it anywhere. Go ahead, dude.
Speaking of volume, Jay, I'm just looking at the 15-minute volume on micro copper. I don't like what I'm seeing. Instead of growing, it's actually diminishing. So this might keep going, but the whole day was a bit meh. So I'm going to take this off here and just call it a day. So that was basically a scratch trade, but it brings my day up slightly to $112. But yeah, there's just no juice here because I wanted to see a more committed move below these puts from the 0DT end of day yesterday. But yeah, we're not getting that, and we're kind of running out of time because in about an hour we're gonna have the London close. If this was gonna be a proper trending day, like copper likes to do on a lot of the days, we would have seen a more committed move. We wouldn't see these buying wicks. So another thing I don't like is if you have a look at the price action on 15 minutes, buying wicks, diminishing volume. It's like, not what I want to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's going to happen now. However, grab a few tickies, as JD would say, and that's it. It's just a trade that didn't quite do what we wanted, but that's okay. We managed it well.
Jack, how's it going? Is
we're
flat.
as well.
Yeah. Just selling with
344.
Okay.
It's through that level, so on to the next one. As
Yeah,
he would say.
He did say that. So stops run down there. He's saying the volume is drying up. Buyers are going to give it another shot here, perhaps in the ES. Going to try to defend this 57.90. Trading 57.95s now. High conviction one way or another. I mean, NASDAQ, 20,273. Right, here comes a new 5-minute. Bottom of the hour just hit. Can we get another move to the downside? Yeah. What's up, Jay?
I'm long again from 274. Just a one lot micro.
Okay.
Stop is below the low of that just kind of dip we had there. Below 252.
What got you into that trade?
So the candle that made the low of the day, the high of it is 20,260. We were talking about the potential for this to either continue to sell off or range, and what they just did with that volume in the last 9 minutes, they were not able to trade lower than that price, right? So I needed new sellers to come in there to make a new low. They didn't do it, and if they can't get the price action that they want, they become buyers. And I'm just fading that move there. right?
Yeah,
Mo
there's a
says it all the
potential
time.
for a
Look for where
failed
sellers
auction.
fail. Okay.
Yeah, there is a potential for a failed auction because we tried to go below. I mean, we effectively closed below the initial balance, but as soon as that happened, they just started pushing it back up. So I mean, it is an equity index. It has an upward bias on most days. So yeah, good idea there.
D, he said failed downside auction. If Hogue was here, what would he be saying about this? How do we get confirmation for a failed downside auction? 10:30 Central Time is come and gone. Hogue hasn't been here all week.
So
Please fill in.
Okay, so with ES, I don't pay for ES on my live, so I am gonna have to refer to my other charting package for a second. So basically, if you're gonna wait for the full failed auction, there is a chance that you sacrifice trade location. And what does that mean? Well, technically, a failed auction is confirmed once the next TPO after the extension of that first hour of trading, aka the initial balance, is over. So effectively, we would need to wait for another 28 minutes to confirm this. But what most of us do who have been trading profile for a while is to have another level in mind and then to take context into consideration and then to effectively front run it. And that way, the close of the 30-minute TPO is nothing more than a confirmation. But anytime it starts to spend time inside the initial balance, that is not a good sign for further sustained auction. So when we close outside of the initial balance, you want to see follow through. If you don't get that, immediately you have to either think range bound day that could end up rotating all the way to the other side,
días, ¿cómo
or
estamos? Para hoy,
worst case
a las
scenario, it
11.
stops in the middle, but it's still an opportunity to kind of go to the other side. Now, obviously, if we start to see more selling and we start to spend time below the initial balance, that's going to mean that there's no failed auction and we're going to go and close that gap that everybody has been staring at. However, with gap closes, closages, how do you say it?
I like that.
You don't know when the gap is going to get closed. So it doesn't have to happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It can happen anytime from now till forever, right? And because it's to the downside, that minimizes the stats about the gap closures. And furthermore, today we actually opened inside value, tried to push out. Then we saw a classic market maker responsive activity sell. So they try to push it outside of value. These purple lines are of the value area. So if I just mark them off like this. And now, this is possible. That one, so value high was 58.26 ballpark. And usually people try and sell it at the value high from the inside. But really the play there is to wait until it goes above another reference point. In this case, this is the London high. And then to sell it. So basically a pop stops, pick up some volume, and then we roll over. But because of the inside day open, anything can happen at this point. But the commitment of the sellers is just not there. So, yes, there's a huge chance of a failed auction downside, which is longs for us. And you just need to, pray and watch for clues that they're spending time back inside the initial balance, which needs to happen above 57.9650. So we have to stay above there in order to validate the failed auction potential.
Above there. For how long, D? How long do we have to stay above 96.50? Is there a time limit on this
I mean,
thing?
ideally into this next 30-minute candle close for another
order filled
25 minutes or so. If that doesn't happen, then obviously the gap close and the sustained auction is on its way. We do have a low volume node. This is a volume profile taken from the 4 weeks worth of price action. So now we're in a thin volume area. And you usually get a quick move through it, but it doesn't have to mean that it goes through it. It can pop into it and then come back up. So whatever happens, we should see some action and activity here. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts. That's at least how I approach failed auction potentials. Usually I like to have something else where I'm, basing my trade on, whether it's like put support or, some sort of a gamma wall, ADR, ASR low. Those are my exhaustion areas. But for now, we have so much space to the downside. That's not telling me much, so that's not very useful. My exhaustion areas are all the way down to 50. So yeah, that's quite far away. But by the looks of it, this is probably going to be a quiet day. Like everything is pointing to that. Uncommitted buying, uncommitted selling. It's sort of all like, haphazardly going down, but without true commitment. So yeah, maybe a range day.
So if a trader were to preempt the failed downside auction play, right, they'd be getting long down here. We got to wait. You're not sacrificing trade location, but you are taking on more risk if you were going to make the play on the failed downside auction.
Well, if you're front running it,
Yeah.
you might be wrong because you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, right?
Sure.
This is why I like contextually to have something else there. So rather than, oh yeah, it's just a failed auction in the middle of nowhere, I prefer to have another level there. So this is why if we get like a mean reversion where we open above value, then go down and then fail the auction, that's typically a stronger setup than just like failed auction middle of nowhere. It can happen. It can definitely happen. But yeah, it's much trickier. At least it is for me.
Thank you.
There we go.
Exactly
Excellent
what
stuff.
Absolutely. Just bringing the heat right there. Man, oh man, that was good stuff, D.
Thank you.
Take a look, 57.96, 6 points off the lows in the ES. I got about 18 minutes or so left in your fast markets. Like haphazardly, I think that's a good way to put it here. It was just not any real conviction. Jay, I saw in the chat you are flat.
Yeah, I'm flat. We couldn't push back above 300s there. The sellers are still pretty much in control. So, any longs right now are counter trend until we're above 310s again, where they need to probably cover from there. That's still the highest volume candle that we have on the 3-minute, and we can see it's holding. So, flat, not really any conviction in either direction, and we'll wait at this point. Lower volume time, we can see all these volume valleys here, where there's not going to be a lot of follow through for anything.
Got some summer doldrums feel to it, Jack.
Yes, it sure does.
It really does.
Last summer was great though, right? Last
summer was insane. Summer was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. That July, August, that was crazy.
Oh, man.
Feels like the news has slowed down just a little bit.
Yeah, what do we have for news? Oh, you got that 5-year auction.
What's up?
Hour and a half. Also, White House press briefing at the same time.
Okay. What's going on?
Speaking 12:10 Central. Market needs a catalyst. You get out of this range one way or another. Thought we had the zombie rally play going on Monday and Tuesday this week, but just the volume wasn't there. So we're seeing it a little bit lower today. The volume is dry.
Selling that premium.
That's right. We can't miss anything in this show, bruh. We'll be here all day. All the bell.
That copper trade turned around, so that was the right decision to bail.
Nice cover.
Nice out.
¿Y a qué hora? Sí, está bien. ¿A qué hora llegas?
Dropping reach to fill the gap. Get that gap close in the NQ at 080, 20,081. Jay, starting to see some chatter about that in the chat.
Okay. Even lower than that. So if we look at the 30-minute chart, 19,970 was the last close, that Friday close before the gap, and then we gapped up and opened up at 20,050.
Okay, so about 80-point gap there.
Yeah, so levels to the downside if Nasdaq wants to continue selling. I'm looking at the 200 moving average on the 30-minute, which is at 20,171, and then below that, we start talking about where that gap is.
Order filled.
Sí, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Ay, ya vaya a empezar usted con sus cosas.
Auction coming in at 1.5. Or Jack, did you trade the auctions when you were trading fixed income back in the day? That mattered to you?
It mattered because we would usually be flat that product for sure because you were trading the actual cash, so there was nothing to be gained from it because it's going to come, it's going to move quickly, you're going to get chopped up in your spreaders. So we absolutely had to be flat for the 30-year auction and usually the 10. I mean, like, there's no reason to be in it. There's no edge.
We do have big board. I think we got big board coming. Got some hot fun. Trader hot streaks. Our man Miguel closing in on Delesh. See if he's still doing it. Maybe 71 days where he's at. We'll get that in here in a few minutes. Also, after morning recap, Jack's doing morning recap. Very pumped for that. Then we have rising star Fatima joining us.
Order filled.
Recap. I was with her a few weeks ago. I saw she made another appearance, but she's back on.
Order filled.
Looking for that. Dolby will be there. Then Lunchbox Trading. Oh, yes, it's a David Green Wednesday. You already know. But Lunchbox Trading, we got Eddie, Dakota, David Green. Then we have Back to the Futures. Coach Dakota and Coach Jay. Jay, did you know that you were on Back to the Futures today?
I did. Yeah, I did. Dakota doing his best Oprah impression, running the show. And I'm just a guess. I'm just a guess, but it should be good.
Yep. And then Power Hour, we got Dolby, David Green, and Coach Dakota. Of course, make sure to check out London Open. Jerome was on there today. How'd it go, Jerome, for the London Open?
We loved it. We didn't trade much or nothing. We spoke about trading, but not about the chart.
Order filled.
Yeah, it was a course of neuroscience and application into trading. And Coach D is amazing. She makes great links. She understands things fast. She's able to bring on the table examples, real life examples, and apply to trading. Yeah, she's a great host, and it was great being assisted by her. The chat was amazing as well. They were reactive. Very student audience. The morning for us in Europe, right? We peasants, European peasants. The morning session has less people, and so but they are attentive. They are attentive. So it's very much.
Yeah, it's a very different vibe. Very different vibe in the morning. Everyone loves to ask very intelligent questions. Very few people are coming in with like mean intentions, and everyone's there to learn. So yeah, we did a proper class, which we haven't done in a while, right? We have the slides, we have buried the brain, right? We had it all kicking off. We had tests. Jerome got me on one of the little experiments that we did, colors versus sort of pattern matching and stuff. Yes, and you got me. You definitely got me. I was like, I'm going to ace this. And then...
Wait, what was it? Please, can we do it? Do we have enough time to do it, or does it require screen share? What is this? What's this test? I want to see this test. We got hot streaks coming up. What is this test? I'm dying. I'm starting to see a little bit more selling here in the ES. Very orderly. What is this test, Jerome? Please. Is it hard, Deanna? Was the test difficult?
It was. I can't say that word. A mind.
Do you see my screen? Test?
Oh man!
Can you read? Can you read the colors? Can you read the colors you are seeing, please?
Read the colors that I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from left to right.
Yeah, green.
Come on, just
blue.
go with your brain.
Wait, hold on. Green, blue, red, orange, yellow. What is that?
It's hard.
It's very hard, man. That messes with your head.
I know. But you know what I did? I started reading out the words.
No, I can't do it quickly.
I was like, I'm gonna eat it. And I'm like, purple, red, and Joe goes, no, the colors, the. And I was like, oh, green, blue.
Oh man. I short circuited for a second.
There's another one that works well in French. It's well known in French, so I'm gonna try to make it in English. Perhaps it's a big flop, so bear with me. Andre, repeat Bork, B-O-R-K, 5 times. I'm gonna count for you.
Bork.
Order filled.
Thank you. Now, can you spell it 3 times? B-O-R-K, B-O-R-K, B-O-R-K.
B-O-R-K, B-O-R-K, B-O-R-K.
Thank you. And now, last thing, can you repeat again 4 times Bork? Bork.
Love this. Bork.
And now, answer quick. With what do you drink a soup?
I
got you. I
Oh,
got you. You didn't answer fast, but we got you.
Shit, it's a spoon. It's a spoon, not a fork. It's a spoon.
Yeah,
Ah.
spoon, a spoon.
Oh shit. Mind
Yeah,
F is right,
that's another
Dean.
one.
Mind
Thank
up,
you.
I
So
know, yeah.
the point of this is to show that the brain can focus mainly on one single task. And so for the strip test, if you have eyes open, mainly your eyes are going to be what they see is going to be the focus, right? So you're like purple, red, brown, red, green. But then if you try to read it, you enable a different zone, right? So you are in conflict between what you are trying to identify as an information and what you are seeing. And so that's why it took you so much time and so much concentration to be able to just say green, blue, red, but it's normal.
Yeah.
It's the brain. And that's the same with
Yeah,
words.
John was like, notice how your reaction got slower. And I'm like, yeah, man, no, it's not easy because you're completely engaging a different part of your brain. I mean, it's endlessly entertaining. It's fascinating. And I've been sort of a layman reading neuroscience stuff to, try and make myself into a better trader. And there's definitely tricks that you can use from neuroscience to make you more